Hey everyone, welcome to episode 6 of Are the Salmon Running? It is the Tuesday after Columbus weekend, which means I'm quite tired. A lot of people in town, a lot of people, which turned out pretty good. A lot of people that I talked to were saying they did get into fish, which is good. It wasn't like a crazy weekend by any means as far as the fish go. Consistently, there were times where all of a sudden it was like on and they were really getting into them, but overall I'd say it was fairly steady, and then obviously some highs and lows. There were times where it just shut right down and I didn't hear much of anything from anyone, and then there were other times like a couple mornings ago in the faster water out back. They were just slamming them. It was on fire, and then middle of the day the sun came out, it turned right off. But for the most part, I talked to a lot of people this weekend that came here for the first time and got into fish, or were at least able to hook into them and fight them, and are coming back now, which is great to hear. It's always difficult. I get a little nervous when people say it's their first time coming here and they come on Columbus weekend, just because it is the busiest weekend of the entire season. And, I get questions a lot like, hey, where can I go where I can fish? Or where can I go where I won't be around people? Like, home? Then maybe wait like a week, or come the week before. Like, I try and warn people before they come on the holiday weekend. There really won't be any places on the river where you're not going to be around people. Your best bet is usually to go upriver, pick a spot and park, and then be willing to walk and really move away from people if that's what you want to do. But despite the crowds and things, a lot of people went out and had fun. I think 2 days ago, upriver was really good. If I were out fishing right now, I know I like to go right out back here just because it's convenient for me and my favorite rocks out there, so it's nice. But we have seen a good amount of fish come through, and they're not here anymore. If new ones move through, we'll see them, but everything that came through is going to be upriver. I know one of the cleaning stations a couple days ago reported having 6 barrels of guts full before noon, which that's a really good day and what we're looking for. But we've been seeing still a lot of coho, which is nice, and then more kings are starting to move in. But I really, I was talking with a friend of mine that guides, and we're both kind of in agreement. There's still a lot of kings to move in, just because the numbers that we saw in the estuary that were reported, and then, kind of compared to what we've seen actually come through, we know there's got to be more to come. They at least have to try to come up the river. And then another reason behind that as well is usually when the kings have really kind of all moved into the river, you see a couple days straight of just like boom, 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 steelhead. We haven't seen that yet. We've seen a couple trickle through, and we had that patch of brown trout, but it just seemed like some early little pushes coming through, like a nice treat. We haven't started to see the big numbers of the steelhead move in yet, and that makes sense with the way the water temperature is right now. It's been so hot still, and yesterday it was like almost 80 and super sunny, which is crazy for this time of year, but that just means everything's pushed back a little bit. They're calling for like 4 days of rain at the end of this week, which I don't know if I'm gonna buy that or not, because it seems like every time they say rain and I get excited, as it's coming up to the day of that, I check the weather report again, and then it's, oh, well, looks like it's gonna miss you guys now. So luckily this year we had enough rain over the summer where water levels in the river haven't been an issue, but it's just this water temperature is still so warm. They don't really like it, and they're still holding out. And if we could get a couple days of cold rain, that would do the river a lot of good. But I would say overall it was a good holiday weekend. People came out, they had fun, they caught fish, which is what I always love to see. And I did talk to a good amount of people who said that they're going to make another trip towards the end of October and really come back and give it another try when there aren't as many people here. And then by then, hopefully there will be more steelhead moving into the river too, which is always a fun time, because The salmon are kind of like tow trucks. You get them on and they just like bear down and really try and outmuscle you. Whereas the steelhead, I mean, they'll take the rod out of your hand when they hit if you're not ready for it. They smack it, take off 1,000,000 miles an hour downriver, peel in line, and they're so smart. They know how to pop a hook. They know how to play you, make you think that you lost them, and then all of a sudden, boom, they're back on. And they jump out of the air, they do acrobatics. They're so much more fun to catch than the salmon. And they get big too. And pound for pound, I mean, the fight of a steelhead compared to a salmon is not even close. The steelhead fight's so much better, so we're really looking forward to that.